Testing, testing. Test, test, test. Okay. I should have restarted my router, but let's hope that it doesn't crap out. So yeah, last night after stream I looked at my notebook, which is nowhere to be found. Let me get that. Which I just have at my bedside table, because somehow when I'm trying to sleep I get the most ideas. So because the game has roguelike in the name, it does need, I called it, a very central part of the game that's procedurally generated to honor the RL part of the game and that boosts replay value. So I've been thinking about, so the only thing that I want is a large world that I can expand and that players can experience. The main theme is discovery. Now, a world is of course not enough. It has to have gameplay value, and it should be framed in some kind of way. So I was thinking about making a Metroidvania game, but because I've set this roguelike constraint, I thought that, what am I trying to say? So I had paths in the game, which was the twist on the roguelike formula, that the world is static, but the paths are randomly generated. And I took them out because I felt they were too constraining. Not necessarily on the player, but on me. But they are the perfect fit for what I have. So I'm putting them back in. And because adding back the paths for which I have all the code, I mean, I need to change the code here and there. But I've done it before. So adding back the paths is the closest path for me to a playable game. And that's what I need the most right now. Apart from all the other stuff like an options menu and so on, this is actually the most important. And let's see, what else do I have here? Yeah, another idea was the Steam banner in the world itself, which I did yesterday for the landing screen. I added the screenshot button to my window manager, so I can capture that. But I read that you need a 4K picture for Steam, so I can't do that properly right now. But let's go over the to-dos for the pathing. So let's pattern not found. Okay, whatever. So this time I'm doing it differently with the paths. Instead of cutting off these stairs or taking these stairs as nodes, well, exits to a node. So a node is a patch, which is a continuous area of equal elevation, and these stairs are the exits. The last algorithm used only those, but what I'm doing now is I added a new editor mode, which is the flag mode, and I can. So as you can see, I did some work yesterday after stream, and I can designate tiles as exits. So if you look at this patch, the gray area here, it's bounded by these red areas and of course elevation changes. So the idea is that I create a data structure for each patch and all its exits. In this case, there are 3. 1, 2, 3. This one doesn't count because it's on another elevation level. So I have all the patches with all their exits, and then I could just run the old algorithm, but I'm going to start simple and just walk them by chance. And by walk them, I mean I take one for example this one, I leave it as is. But all the others, except the one I came from, let's say I came from this direction, and I choose this exit, then I leave these tiles alone, but these tiles I will programmatically lower 2 spaces and remove the stairs or all portal objects on them. So the player sees this. And the other way around would be let me see where the flags are. These are the flags. The other way around would be lowering these. So the player sees this. Which is pretty seamless, I think. And it's also much easier to place by hand. So if I wanted to cut these 2 patches in half, I would just paint this red. Or just remove it again. So that's the plan. As to where the paths start, I will place goal markers, which will be just like this A marker will be G or something that I place all over the world in open spaces, like here for example. And the game will collect all these markers, choose one at random as the start point or end point. And then it's actually the end point, and then walk randomly, just as in the last version of the algorithm. It will walk randomly until it's satisfied with the length of the path, and then spawn the hero somewhere there. So the path leads back to the goal symbol, which I've lost, of course, to the goal symbol. And I will place a staircase at the goal symbol, which will for now just end the game. Maybe teleport to a specific dungeon or small room, and then it will end the game. Yeah, so that's the plan. What I need to do for this to work additionally is making all the dungeons, they are linear right now. So if you look at this one, you come in here, you walk around, and then the exit is here. So this reflects on the overworld, and this as well, which is of course tricky if I have paths. So let's say the overworld path comes along here, and I choose not to continue towards the goal symbol but go into this dungeon, and then I come out somewhere completely different. That's bad. So there might be some play in there, but for now what I'll do is, instead of putting an exit here, I will teleport the player back up to the entrance. once they reach the end. So that's how I'll solve this for now. So you have the path, you have optional dungeons, and you have, of course, all the interiors that you can skip or go into, which are strewn all over the place, like here, for example. So yeah, and I've limited the rendering size at the moment, as you can see, but the playable area in the game right now is just the upper right quadrant. So 3/4 of the game are not playable right now, but with this method, with this path method, I think I can bring the whole map up to par in a week. So, for example, this area right here. This is just unused space. And you can see there are no paths, there are no ordered entities, etc. But this is all in the map. And if I just brush this up, which might take me a week, then I have a huge play area. And that should be enough for the initial release. Or maybe a beta version. Well, it would still be alpha. But at least for Steam early access. Okay, there it is. So yeah, I'm pretty sure walking the path randomly in the generator will become problematic, but I can... I mean, problems would be snailing in on itself, colliding with itself, it making weird circles, which actually might be fine, but generally the path should cross at least 2 regions. So I have this mountainous forest and this where is it? Well, this looks kind of the same. And this earthy area. It would be nice if the path crosses the boundaries, just to keep it fresh, but actually that's nice to have. And as the dungeons are optional now as well, I don't need to pathfind anywhere, basically. What might be a problem are the crossings here. And yeah, generally I'm not sure if I did the boundary tiles correctly. So I'll need to see. Yeah, so that's the plan. Which is here. Turn dungeon exits into entry teleports. I should do this last, in case the paths don't work for some reason, but I'm not sure why they wouldn't. Add the end position markers and place game ending portal. Okay, I can move this back as well. Create path by stupidly using random exits. Of the randomly chosen start patch until long enough of failure. Collect a single position. Oh, okay. So that's here. So let's look at the algorithm. Choose a goal point at random. Collect all patches and their exits. And I need the problem is I need to have a data structure that links these patches to their neighbors.